The biggest achievement of COP21 in Paris, I think, has to be the movement. We're going from action by few to action by all.
The biggest success was that there is a deal with 195 countries.
This is the first truly global agreement on climate change. For the EU as a whole, I think a lot of the preparatory work that the relevant commissioners did in bridge building clearly helped play a role.
I think one of the best successes was that they were managing to speak with one voice. However, the disadvantage of it was that for example, a country like Poland was capable of slowing down Europe.
During the negotiations, the EU was able to join forces with the ACP group of countries, African, Caribbean and Pacific countries, many of which are the most vulnerable, most exposed to the negative consequences of climate change. This alliance, the High Ambition Coalition, if you like, made a significant contribution to the negotiations in terms of raising the overall ambition.
I think Europe was most crucial in really building this kind of alliance of more ambitious countries, which was breaking away from rich versus poor.
It's not about developed countries and developing countries. It is about joint action and collective action by all.
It's very good to have a deal and to say, okay, we want to stay well below 2 degrees, we want to be even below 1.5 degrees. But if you really take that serious, then a lot of things need to change in Europe. If we are serious, then we need to adjust some of the issues that are now being shaped in emission trading. I think a very simple example is the surplus of allowances. There's so much surplus in our system, which is leading to a very low carbon price.
We need to factor into our domestic policies and domestic priorities the international agreement that has been reached.
We have to adjust our policy on ETS. We have to come up with more ambitious proposal on the other sectors like agriculture, transport, the building sector. We have to think of a far stricter energy efficiency target because we are lagging there.
The modelling that may underpin the European Union's objective of a 2-degree consistent decarbonisation pathway itself needs to be reviewed.
The best thing that Paris has done now, it's changing the debate. Those who want to go further are getting support from a Paris Agreement, whereas the ones who always said, no, there's international competition, carbon leakage, all kind of reasons not to do anything, they have to explain more why they are still making that case. I think one of the biggest signals that investors should get now is that fossil fuels will be done with.
If there is one signal that will be taken by markets across the world on this, and in particular is important for the European sector as well, it's that innovation is going to become even more important as a factor of competitive advantage and success. The challenge for the European Union is to seize the competitive advantage, the economic opportunity this represents, rather than lose in the race to other parts of the world.
The real fast transition you will get if all the investors will move their money shifting away from fossil to the renewables, the cleaner options.
The pace of change is increasing because the ambition has not just increased, but the urgency to take action on it has. That's a very important tipping point in the way that we are seeing markets respond to this.
Development policies and our external action are absolutely necessary in order to make sure that our partners have the possibilities, the ability to deliver on their intended nationally determined contributions. It goes without saying that different countries have different capacities, and we need to support our partners in delivering these policies and measures. Climate change is not in any way a competition to development.
Perhaps the most important one is to play a watchdog role and to ensure that the commitments that have been made are respected in practice.
We did the talking in Paris. 2016 should be the year of action.